Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Joshua and this is Rooftop. Now, in this workshop, we are creating a Pichwai painting, and this is the part 2 version of it. So, we are done with the drawing so far, but now we will start with the painting. Alright, so let's begin. Alright, so I have my paints here. I have two palettes with me, and don't worry about this, it is entirely dry. Alright, and so now I'm going to start off with the background over here. So as we can see in the, oh, hold on. Something I'm like, why does the reference look a little bit weird? There you go, much better. All right. So now we're going to start with the background, which is the blue color, as you can see. Right. So for this, I'll try to give it a slightly watercolorish effect. Now, how exactly am I going to do that? I'll take some blue color here. Right, I have my brush and everything ready. Okay, so I will take my blue color and mix it in over here. Well, it's too dark for you to see. Okay, perfect. I'll mix in this blue color over here, but I'll add a little bit of water to it. So I'm going to make it a little diluted, you could say. Okay, and then I'm going to start painting inside of it. You can see how it's become light. And inside this as well. Then we can just start filling this up. Just like this. Perfect. Oh, hey Neha. Now I know you're gonna call me out for this, and I have prepared an excuse. I know I said that we would do this at 5:30, but like I said yesterday also, not completed yet. Okay, no problem. So, like I said yesterday, how I had to cancel the workshops and we were busy doing something. Today also, last minute, I got a call saying that we had to prepare some stuff. So instead of doing this at 5:30, I am doing this right now, and the 5:30 workshop is going to be cancelled. So I thought I could have done this tomorrow also, since this takes quite a bit of time. But I thought, what, since you all have been waiting, I'll finish this today itself and then we can continue it tomorrow. So it looks like I'm using watercolors, but I just added quite a bit of water to my acrylic paints. These are acrylics itself. So you can use them like watercolors, but you won't get the watercolory effect entirely. So you can get like 50% of the watercolor effect. So it's not necessary to use the acrylic paints, as thick as they come. You can even dilute it in water and use it. Of course, that also depends on what type of an effect are you going for. Okay, so just like that, and we're just going to fill in this entirely. Right, just like that, and then the same thing here. So again, try to go for some nice long strokes. There as well, just like that. I've taken very little paint and I've added enough water that it's a bit watery. So instead of having to mix white into this and then make a thick paint, I just added a bit of water and you get almost the same effect, but it's a little bit watercolorish now. Just like this. Okay, perfect. Ultramarine, you can use ultramarine blue, but I'm using Prussian blue right now. Ultramarine blue is also very similar to this. So if you have ultramarine, you can use that. If you have cobalt is relatively lighter. It's a much lighter blue. So if you have cobalt blue only, then you can use cobalt blue as well. Right? And see, it dries up really fast also. Oh, we have quite a few people here. I see that quite a lot of you were looking forward to this workshop. So just take a little bit of water, mix it in here nicely. I don't want my brush to be filled with water. I'll remove the excess water and then I can start painting these. Yeah, just like that. And if you have like a medium sized flat brush, that would be really good for covering up large spaces like this. I'll take some here. just like that. Okay, so how many of you all are, you know, painting this with me? Or maybe even if you're not painting, you're planning on painting this later on. Okay, so if at all my voice stops working, my mic stops working, do let me know. I'm pretty sure if my voice stopped working, I would know that. I wouldn't need anyone to tell me. If you cannot hear me, that is the right sentence. What is this over here? Oh, this is the okay, fine. And keep looking back onto your reference so that you don't paint something that you shouldn't. I mean, of course, you can fix it as well, but sometimes what happens is the pencil marks can become much lighter if you just leave it like that, or maybe when your hand brushes over it. And then when you paint over it to top it off, those lines go, and then you don't remember what was there. Oh, Ira, you are? Okay, that's great. So, Ira, have you finished the drawing, or are you like yet to begin? Okay, perfect. Just like that. Oh, okay, you finished the drawing. Okay, great. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I will even take some yellow color and keep it to the side. Okay, that might be a little too much yellow. But now even this, we're going to make it pretty thin. So, little watercolorish type. Oh, lovely. Okay. So you can just paint this entirely. And remember, even though it is watered down, it is still acrylics. So unlike watercolor, where once you place a dark color down, you can't really apply a lighter color to it. But for acrylics, it will still work even if you dilute the color in water. Okay, I'll just lighten this one up a little bit. Okay, and then the same thing here. So now let's say I finish this workshop and you still haven't completed your painting, what you can do is you can re-watch the video, but you can watch it at maybe like a 1.5 or 2x speed. That you don't have to listen to me talk half the time. Okay, over there. Oh, I missed a blue color there as well. It's okay. Just like this. Over here also. Now you're painting. Okay, that's nice. Right, and then a little bit this side. And just remove any excess water that is there in your brush. Okay, just like that. And then the same thing here. Just like that. Okay, is there any part that I am missing? Over here, I know the sun is barely visible, but don't worry. I am going to show it once I lighten up the colors. Okay, so here I have these colors down, a bit over here, on this side, and here as well. Okay, there, here, 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 here. Okay, now I'll clean my brush. I'll just take a little bit of blue and apply it down here. Oh, that is supposed to be pink. That's okay. I can paint that again later on. Which else was there? Oh, that part is also pink. Okay, fine. Okay. Now, so basically what I'm doing now, this is known as blocking in, where now if we look at this painting, right? I'll just change the blending mode to multiply. I'll move this, move that also. Okay, so now if we look at each part, right? If we look at this, what color do you see the most? Or maybe if you look at this area here, you see a lot of green and then some yellow inside. But the first thought that comes into your head is green. And if you look at the background, it's mostly blue, and then we have some light and darker shades. And if you look at these petals also over here, we can see that it's majority of it is pink or dark pink, and then the highlights and all come, right? So we have red, or we have dark pink, we have blue, and we have green. So I will put all those colors everywhere where it is needed, and that is known as blocking in, where we put just one layer of colors, and that would be the color that you see everywhere. And then after that, once you put all of that down, then you can start adding your lighter colors or darker colors in whichever manner you like. And that actually helps quite a lot when it comes to painting. Not only does it make it easier, but it even helps you understand whether your colors are the correct tone or the correct shade, and so on and so forth. Below the lotus, above the cow green part. Oh, this. Thank you. Okay, this part. On top, I think over here. So this is also one thing that can happen above the cow also. Which part exactly above the cow? Here, this, over here. Oh, you mean this part? Okay, I mean, if you want me to darken this a bit more, I could. Oh, okay, this one. Okay, no problem. That's okay. I'll darken this part as well a little bit. Thank you. Thank you for telling me. So that also is a part of painting. You get tunnel vision. So every now and then it's good to, take a step back, have a look at it entirely, maybe just stare at it for a minute or two, and then continue working on it. Okay, so now I will take some yellow color. And then I can start. Okay, this yellow is barely visible. Hold on. Okay, so the yellow might need to be a bit thicker. Just like that. A little bit this side. You know what? I can mix a little bit of green in this yellow. Okay, hold on. Okay, I think I might need to darken, use some thick colors for this. So I'll just use some thick colors for the green. Just reapply all of this. Since it's already light, the lighter colors won't really show on it. So I'll just darken them a little bit. So I'll just darken these like that. Okay, fine. Now I will let them to dry, and in the meantime, just quickly switch my palette for the warmer colors. Okay, and then I will take my red. some red color there, and then some white color. Okay. Now for this part I will use my smaller brush, but first I'll just take this red color here, a little bit more, and some white, and mix it in. Just like this. And then start filling all of this in. Make sure there isn't too much water or anything in your brush. Just like that. But now see, I'm only filling in the bigger petals first. This. Just cover around first, and then I can easily fill in the inner parts. Okay, just like that. Okay, perfect. Right, now even for the smaller ones, actually I can fill these also in. So what you can do, right, is you can just make like a triangle and then fill it up. So start off with a triangle and then fill it up in the shape of a diamond. Okay, now that that is done, I'll take some white color, mix it to the side, not too much also white. Okay, so I will lighten this color up a little bit and then add it to just the tips, maybe a little bit brighter. Yeah, perfect. Just a little bit to the tips, like that. Okay, great. So, Neha and Ira, how are your paintings going? Just like this, a little bit here, all the way down this side. So coloring the blue in the background. Okay, no problem. So take your time with whichever part you are doing, especially the background, since we have quite a few intricate parts as well. Yeah, there you go. Let me bring it a bit closer. This part seems to be a little bit dark. Okay, then I guess I'll just lighten that up a little bit. Just the tip. No, perfect. There you go. Oh, okay, Neha, that's not an issue. It's no problem. You can complete it in your own time. You don't have to complete it, while I'm doing the live stream. Yeah, perfect. Just like that. Okay, there you go. That seems pretty good enough. Is it me or is it just getting darker and darker? I'll just lighten it up a little bit more so that I don't have to go for the fourth round now. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, now we're ready to go on to the next part. Okay, so what I will do is, actually I can finish this color itself. Since I already have some pink, I will start doing the petals. So I'll start off with some sort of a medium pink color. just like that, just around the tips. Now I can zoom in a little bit. Now 2, 3 instead. I'll zoom in. Okay, I hope that is alright. Okay. And then I'll take my lighter pink, which again looks very similar. Just like that. Clean my brush. And then I will take some white color. And then just blend it in like that. So I'll start from the bottom, like this, start from the bottom, and then work my way up, just like that. Yeah, there you go. And then later on I can then give it an outline with some red color. So what I can do is I can even try painting this entirely pink first, like a medium sort of pink. That, and then I'll take a slightly darker pink, just like that. Yeah. Perfect. And then I'll take this nice slightly darker red, and then I can just put some on the tips over here. Okay, and then some white color. I'll mix it to the side. Make sure you mix it properly. We want it light but not white perhaps, but just like a very light pinkish color. So if there's too much paint, you can just come back, pick it up, and then put it onto the other side. And then once that gets over, then you can, take a white color again and put it there. Okay, and then the same thing here. Yeah, there you go. Just like this, nothing too complicated, or at least hope it's not too complicated. Okay, and now we'll do this part as well. So again, I'll take some light pink. Let me just show you my palette properly. So this is where my lightest pink is. So you can see how similar it is to the white color. So I'll apply this down all the way, take it all the way up, fill in the other sides. Now just see how spontaneous and how roughly I am putting it in. Like that. Then I'll take the slightly darker pink and just flick it towards the center. Just like that. And the same thing here. And we need these lines to come. Okay, like that. And then a little bit here also. So while I'm at it, I'll just apply to the smaller lotus buds that are there. Just like that. Okay, and then I'll take some white color and mix it in with this pink that I have already been using. Over here. Perfect, just like that. Now it may look like, the lotuses are a bit dull and stuff, but once you do the outline, it will just start popping out before you even know it. Over here also at the tip, I'll just add a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Okay, and now since I have the colors ready, I'm going to take this red and start the outline. I'll just test it first. Okay, there you go, that's one. I'll start with the center one. And then move a bit outwards like that. Now just make sure it's not too watery also. You want it wet but not so much so that it starts to puddle up. Like that. Yeah, there you go. Look at how much it's popping out now. So the same thing here. There you go. And then I'll do the same for this one. There you go. Oh, hey Kashinath. Oh, yeah, you did join a bit late, but that's okay. As long as you are here. So Kashinath, how are you doing? Doing these outlines is quite therapeutic for me. Which is why you'll see me go so silent, and then when I realize I am live, I will start yapping again. Perfect. There you go. Look at that. Look at how the lotuses are just like popping out of this painting itself. Ivan can do it over here. I think at this point I'm just searching, finding excuses to do more outlines. I was halfway through drawing a landscape workshop. Oh, okay. Which landscape workshop was it? Like, what was the drawing about? I've done like so many of them, it's hard to remember which is what. So, were you planning on painting or was it a drawing one? Oh, lovely. Look at that. Still haven't got the courage to paint yet. So, here's the trick about courage or confidence. the best thing to do is to fake it. You must have heard the term fake it till you make it, right? And this is what I do as well. Like sometimes there are events where I have to handle, and even I get a bit nervous because there are a lot of people. It's face to face. Not that I have some social anxiety or something. It's more like, oh, what if I mess up maybe? So in that time, what I do is I'll get a good look at everyone who all are there and just pretend that, oh, you know what, I already know these people. And I'll just speak to them as if, I have nothing to lose. And the same way when you paint, you can do the same thing. Just start painting. Pretend like you've painted ever since you were a baby. And just start. And that itself is going to give you the confidence. And don't worry too much. See, it is going to be a first painting. You will make mistakes without a doubt. Like everyone would, even I myself did. Now, whether you get the outcome that you wanted, or maybe you don't get the outcome that you want, it doesn't matter. Just start painting, and then eventually that confidence, or in your terms, courage, will come. I know, trust me, I have been there, especially during college. So during college, I had to use quite a lot of paints. So we were doing oil paints, and oil paints are not cheap, they are expensive. At least for me, they were, a bit pricey. Oh, but wait, before I say that, look at this. Look at how lovely that looks. That looks pretty insane. So this very three-dimensional kind of feeling. Great. Kind of upset that, this there isn't more for me to paint like this. But okay. Yeah, so as I was saying, that even back when I was in college, oil paints are very expensive, and I needed to get the big tubes like this. So this one is what, about 300 bucks. And those used to go up to 450, 550, 650 also, depending on the color that I used. And there was a time where even I was like, if I'm going to paint, I'm going to paint it correctly or not at all, because I don't want to, finish my paints or waste my paints also. And it stuck with me for quite some time, but eventually I realized that unless I make mistakes, I'm not going to learn. And if you make a painting and it is not, the way you wanted it to turn out, it is still a progress, it is still a step forward. So if you're worried about, wasting your paint or anything as such, it's okay. You can think of it that way, but until and unless you paint, you're not going to improve. So you need to make some mistakes in order to move forward. Parents, I mean, understandable. Honestly, I can't argue with that. Because, of course, money is involved, and, paints aren't that cheap as well. So, here's what you can do. Since you're worried about wasting paints, or your paint's going to waste, make very small paintings. So, if you can see this one, this is pretty much the size of my hand, right? So what you can do is you can make an even smaller one, like a postcard type, half the size, and you can make paintings in that. That way you will use less paints, and even if you make a mistake, or maybe it's not the way you want it to be, it is still okay, because you still have more paints to do, and you have much more works that you can make with that less amount of paints. Yeah. So why don't you try that? Make small works. Don't go for big works. And remember one thing, bigger paintings do not mean better paintings. And expensive paints do not does not mean better paintings. Thank you. I'm really struggling to talk today. Let's have some water. Okay. Yeah. So as I was saying, you can just make smaller works, and regardless of how they turn out, your paints are not going to be wasted. Your parents aren't going to be yelling at you, and you can make a lot more paintings. So it's a win-win for everyone. And then from the small paintings, you can maybe choose which paintings you like and show your parents those. Sounds like a good plan to me. So what do you think? Suggest a work that you can do. Try something very simple. Don't go for, like, even if you're doing a landscape painting, right? Search for a landscape painting that is very simple, super simplistic, in the sense that there isn't too much happening. So, not too many trees, not too many mountains, just enough that it looks like a landscape. That's what I would suggest you. Now, based on whatever I said, you can choose one for yourself that you feel comfortable with and that meet the criteria of whatever I mentioned. And push forward with it. My throat is getting dry. Okay, I'm glad, but of course you can start in your own time. There is no hurry or anything as such to start today itself. Whenever you feel comfortable, you can start, and whenever you feel scared, pretend that you've been painting even longer than I have. And that would be your very first step to painting. Now, you learn music, right? Which instrument were you learning? I don't remember. Guitar or the piano, something like that. So, Kashinath, which instrument were you learning? Because even for instruments, if you go to see, like say the piano, for example, or the organ or keyboard, whichever you want to call it, we have different notes and we have a lot of keys. We have octaves, we have the black keys, white keys, which are the sharps, and the other ones as well. I'm not very knowledgeable with it. So even for that, since you do learn music, there was probably a time where you were even more blank than when it came to painting. But now I'm sure it's been a couple of years, and now you can read the notes, you can play the songs at whichever tempo. So the same thing applies to any sort of work, not just painting, not just music, anything. It could be sports, whichever you're trying to get into. And again, you're still. Oh, okay. All right, then. Take care. Bye bye. Okay, like that. Oh, it's been an hour. Okay, fine. Okay, now I will. We'll take some blue color here. I don't want too much water in this. Okay, now I'll mix this up and start giving this an outline as well. There you go. Then the same thing here. Just like this. Okay, like that. And then over here. This side as well. Perfect, just like that. Okay, now I can start with the inside here. I will take, okay, this one seems to have dried. Once. Okay, so now we can start with the inside here. I will take some brown color. And I will need a little bit of yellow and blue, which I will take from my other palette here. Right? So just remove all this excess water. I'll take some brown, just like this, and I'll just see what this looks like. Okay, so I thought I would need some yellow, but I don't think so. Just like that. Just be a little careful while filling this out. Okay, now I will take the same brown color. I will mix a little bit of blue color in it. With a little bit of water. Be a bit more brown to the side. Because I don't want it too thick also. Yeah, just like that. So wherever you want it lighter, you can just spread the brush like this, and wherever you want it darker, you can just keep the brush thin and come down like that. Yeah, there you go. That seems good enough. If you want, you can darken the outer part just a little bit for some nice contrast. Yeah, there you go. Then I will clean my brush. Okay, and I will take some yellow. Okay, then I'll add a bit of brown color in this yellow, so I get this sort of cadmium yellow type of color. Okay, and I'll just apply this over here. Nice. Same thing here, and then this side as well. A bit over there. And then here. Oh, that looks lovely already. A bit on the back, and then some on the horns. Perfect. I'll clean this and take some blue color, just some plain blue. Just like this. Okay, I'll clean my brush. I seem to have forgotten to put yellow at another place. That is over here. Just like that. Yeah, perfect. Okay, now I can start with the outline. Is there anything else left? Of course there is. There is always something on the other left. And that is this part. Is that visible? Maybe I can add a bit of white color to it. So one of the reasons why I'm adding white color to it is not only to lighten it, but also to thicken the paint. Because over here you will need thick paint. Yeah, there you go. Okay, and then I will take a little bit of black color now. Just a tiny bit. I don't need much. I took only like a tiny drop or two. Make sure you have very little black color. I'll start with that. Perfect. Okay. Just like this. And then I'll add some small lines inside. Make sure there's not too much water in your paint. Like that. Oh, that turned out really good. Oh, perfect. Look at that. I think whenever I do a Pichwai painting workshop, I always enjoy these the most. Just like that. Okay, that part is done. And then we have a little bit here. So doing like circular lines is a bit tricky with this brush. Yeah, there you go. Is there anything else left? Oh, the white color. Yes, the white. I'll just remove as much water as I can. Take some white color here. And then I will start adding a few dots there. Okay, that is a lot of water, which I do not need. Like that. And then some here. Okay, and then last but not least, around the borders over here. There you go. And we are done. So if you want, you can, you can darken a bit over here, as you can see in the image. But since we're a little short of time, I will be stopping right here. All right. So this is a final artwork. I'll bring this a bit closer so you can see. There you go. So I hope you enjoyed this workshop. This has been Pichwai motif paintings. So a lotus and a cow as well. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all again tomorrow. So take care and bye bye.